I'm really struggling trying to figure out how to fit writing into my everyday life. In my head, it's a nice little complete thing sitting there waiting for me, but to open it up again and really embrace working on it. I'm nervous, but I know it's going to be a good challenge for me. Hello, it's Nicole and welcome back to my channel. It has been about a month since I wrote the first draft of my novel during NaNoWriMo in November. It is now the first full weekend of January and it is time for me to jump back into working on my novel again. I had a nice break in December, taking a step back from working on my novel. It's still been on my mind, it's still been in my thoughts, very active in my thoughts, but I wanted to take some time this weekend to really get to work, really restart my whole process and get to work on reaching the final draft of my novel. To avoid confusion going forward in case I ever do participate in NaNoWriMo again, I'm going to start calling this novel 2A as its little secret project name because I don't think I'm quite ready yet to commit to announcing the title of the book, or at least the title that I have in mind. So going forward, I'm going to be calling this project 2A, like the number 2 and then the letter A. Anyways, I wanted to bring you along with me for this next step in my novel writing journey, which is working on my second draft. To start off, I would sit down with you and kind of explain the game plan I have going forward. I have never done this before. I've never written a second draft of a novel. I only have my first one. But anyways, the idea I have in mind is that I'm going to leave my first draft as is. I will not be making any changes to it. I am currently writing in Scrivener, so I'm going to leave that whole Scrivener file alone. And my next step is to start a new Scrivener file, and I'm going to take all the bits from my first draft that I want to keep going forward into my new Scrivener draft, and just start kind of more with a blank slate, trying to export my novel for others to read from my first draft. I realized there was a whole bunch of mess going on with the formatting because I'm still quite new to Scrivener. So I've been researching some ways to improve that. So for my second draft, I'm going to start with a new Scrivener file and go through my first one and just take all the pieces I want, really take my time reviewing what I've written and adding them into this new file. But I don't think I'm going to be doing it all at once. In my head, I am going to be just going chapter by chapter, taking what I want, and I'm hoping it'll give me a really good chance to get reacquainted with what I've already written. I still have a very good mind in my head, but just going chapter by chapter, really taking my time breaking it down, not doing full edits, but getting an idea of what's already there going into the second draft. And then from there, I know there are a few chapters I already want to add and write to really help flesh out the story. I think big picture for my second draft, I want it to be like a nice fully rounded novel with no pieces missing. I'm more comfortable giving it to beta readers or any friends who are interested in seeing like an early draft of the novel before I get into its final stages. I want it to be really close to the final draft, even though I know there's still the potential for a lot of change to happen. So yeah, that's my plan going forward. So I think this weekend I'm just going to be spending a lot of time getting reacquainted with the story, building like the skeleton of my second draft, and I've already been doing a little bit of writing here and there. I haven't actually reopened the whole file, but for the ideas of the chapters I've already had, I've already written half of a chapter I know I want to slot in, and I've already written like a couple of half-written scenes, at least like some dialogue characters have that I definitely want to throw into the second draft. I'm feeling anxious getting back to working on this because it's kind of scary. In my head, it's a nice little complete thing sitting there waiting for me, but to open it up again and really embrace working on it. I'm nervous, but I know it's going to be a good challenge for me, and I've put it off for a whole month. I've kind of put it off for this first week of January, and now it's time to just jump back in and take you along with me. So let's get to the writing. I almost forgot. I'm going to need tea for this next writing session. This morning I went to David's Tea and I got this new tea called Cupid's Breakfast. It sounds really good. It's Earl Grey with roses and I think like cream flavoring, so I'm going to be drinking that. So first, let's go make tea and then get to writing. 3 hours of work have just completely flown by here. I started around 3:30 getting to work editing, and then it's already 6:30, which I can't believe. I tackled about 3 chapters. I had to rewrite one of the chapters, or like rewrite 3/4 of it, because I realized that I wanted to change what was happening in the scene and change that as a plot point for what's happening. As you can see, I have my two Scrivener files opened up side by side, so I've got my old one and then I've got my new one that I'm working on for the second draft. And I've just been copying and pasting, reviewing the chapters, going back and forth between them. I actually didn't spend as much time writing as I thought I would. I realized that I need a database for all the information I'm keeping track of in my novel. There's a lot of events that have happened in like the timeline of my characters, stuff that's happened years in the past that's relevant to what's currently happening in the present. And even in the present, it's a little bit hard for me to keep track of like what happens each week. It sounds more complicated than it is, but it is very hard for me to picture timelines in terms of my writing. Even just for myself, it's hard for me to picture my own life timeline sometimes. But yeah, overall, very productive. Yeah, in terms of that database, basically I just started a brand new Notion page and I'm going to use that as my homepage for this novel. I don't know why I didn't do that before, but I just want to have everything laid out in one place where I can see it, where I can access any information I need to quickly. So I created a table for all my characters, and at a glance I can see what they like, what they dislike. And then I've also created boards to keep track of the timeline in the past, timeline in the present, and then just some other information that's handy for me. I just kind of whipped this up just off the top of my head because I needed a place to record it all. And if you don't know what Notion is, it's like an online organization software. It's really helpful. I suggest you check it out. And I'm hoping that'll be helpful to me going forward with all the editing. But I think I'm going to cut that short for today. I need to make a vision board for my own personal life unrelated to writing for tomorrow morning, because I'm meeting up with some friends to share our vision boards and to work on them a bit more. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the night. But if all goes well, I will see you again tomorrow for some more writing content. It is quite a few days later. I have not gotten as much writing done as I had hoped to. Originally, I had planned for this vlog to be a full weekend of writing, but I think I'm really struggling trying to figure out how to fit writing into my everyday life. With NaNoWriMo, it was very easy. In a way, like I know NaNoWriMo was very difficult to do, but it was easy because I was able to make writing my #1 priority. It was something I had to do every single day and sit down and do it, and I was kind of allowed to let other things in my life go to the side. I wasn't seeing friends as much, I wasn't keeping up with house duties as much, I was still going to work every day, but it was a different thing. And now that it's January and then I'm back to working on my novel, I'm kind of in that stage of like, what do I do next? How do I fit this into my life? So I decided to sit down this morning and work a little bit on a chapter I wanted to add to my novel, and I've maybe written about half of it this morning, but I'm honestly already thinking that maybe I won't have any more time to write again this week. I don't have like a hard set deadline of when I want to finish my novel. I really want to just continuously work on it and see how things go. I was entertaining the thought of setting like a really hard deadline for me to have it finished and ready to go out into the world, but I don't think that's going to work for me. The thought of that was giving me a lot of anxiety that I wouldn't be able to tweak it to the way I wanted to get it to be, and I think putting that pressure on myself kind of made me not want to write. It was very odd. I want to try and embrace the idea of making sure I set a time at least every single week to work on my novel. And I think also right now it's kind of in this murky stage where I'm trying to convert my first draft into like the skeleton of my second draft. I really feel confined to working at my desktop. It's so much easier on my big monitor to be able to see both drafts side by side instead of just on my laptop. And I think with NaNoWriMo, with some of the writing I was doing, it was kind of like I could multitask while doing it, but I definitely feel like as I'm kind of refining and reworking parts of my novel that aren't just writing, it's kind of more of an editing stage. I really need to be like laser focused on what I'm doing. And also, I just feel like the content isn't as interesting, like just seeing me copy and pasting and typing a few things here and there. But I still want to share this process with you, so I apologize that this vlog is quite short and not as filled with activities as I thought it would be. I think in the future I'm going to try and find some more novel ways to write, especially after I get this second draft skeleton all built up and ready to go. But I think for now, until I get to that stage where I have my second draft skeleton ready to go, I'm just going to be working on it when I can, when I have an hour or two to sit down and really focus on it. But I think what these past couple of days have showed me since this weekend is that if I don't make time to do it, it won't happen. So I think going forward, the plan is going to be that I want to work on it at least 1 hour a week. And I know that that's like a very small goal to set for myself, but sometimes it's hard just to find an hour to sit down and really focus on something when there's so many other things going on in life. And that's the writing update from me, starting the next phase of working on my novel. Thank you for coming along with me and watching this vlog. If you are also a fellow writer and have any tips on how to schedule writing into your everyday life, please let me know. Right now I'm thinking it's setting this 1 hour aside every week, or maybe trying to dedicate just a couple minutes every morning when I just have that quiet time to myself. Something I need to figure out this year if I want to end the year with a fully completed final version of my book. So until next time, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this vlog, it would mean a lot if you left me a like, and please subscribe to be notified when I release new videos, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, bye!